I was gonna try to start this like the fucking like Skyrim intro. Oh, you're finally awake. And I don't know, I just didn't have it in me to start that, I guess. I didn't have it in me to fucking do that shit. So hey, I could work at uh another grocery store's produce. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I just gotta fucking dude, it's crazy because uh I don't want to find like I'm not looking for jobs really, but I've been getting uh emails for jobs from Indeed still. Even like I literally said I think I literally put like this is my current job, you know? I found a job. I got the job from this interview from Indeed. And it's just like, well, let's just keep sending them stuff. So I've been getting like, dude, I've been getting a bunch of ones like Starbucks barista and shit. Service operator, cashier, and a bunch of them are at the mall. I got one movie theater manager. Makes more money than what I do now, but I don't know if I could be a movie theater manager. I don't know about that. So, um, anyways, I I basically didn't get to do anything yesterday because dude, I slept so horribly. I just felt awful the whole day. I had like this like awful feeling in my chest the whole day because I think I just haven't been sleeping enough. So, but been a little better. Been a little bit better. So, that's good. And crazy thing is, I went to bed at like probably 1 o'clock last night, but I woke up at like 9 today. But I feel much better. I think because every time I woke up in the middle of the night, I just fucking like insta went back to sleep. So I definitely woke up like I definitely woke up at least 3 times last night. I can tell you that. But then I just instantly went back to sleep, so that was good. Um, so I've got some time to yap a little bit, and I was thinking about yapping about the other topic I mentioned last night that I decided I wasn't going to do last night, which is loyalty, because uh I've kind of had like this moment of realizing that at least in today's society, loyalty just kind of seems to be a thing that's not valued that much. And it's something I've always felt like I should value, right? Because going back to the weekly update I did the other day, I mentioned don't be a cheater. don't be like this fucking guy, man. Which, it's funny because there is a chance he would watch one of these at some point. But, uh, if he does, hey, stop being a cheater. Don't do it. But, uh, I've always been somebody who does not want to be that guy, who does not want to be like that. I've always been somebody who values loyalty a lot. And I'm not saying, and I'm about to travel to a different country because I'm really that down bad and I need to, you know, but the thing is that I I feel like I've kind of gotten a little bit of a wake up call on loyalty because I felt like I was very, I was very loyal uh for things I shouldn't have been that loyal to because they weren't loyal to me. And now I'm just like, wow, that was dumb. So I've mentioned in both instances, right? I mentioned in both instances that uh that both the things that have happened this week mainly that this um I've had this kind of wake up call at work because they have been cutting hours like crazy and I just felt like that they really screwed me over, man. That was how I felt. Well, I mean, that's still kind of how I feel. I mean, I've gotten over it a little bit, and when I saw that first schedule when they cut hours, I was like just devastated, kind of. I mean, for a number of reasons. And when I saw the one last week, I was already in the midst of thinking of a lot of other things, and so I was just at first I was like just devastated again, and then I was pissed, like super fucking pissed. And now I've kind of gotten over it. So today there's going to be a new schedule, and I don't know what to expect necessarily. I might get more hours, I might get less hours, I might get weird hours. I don't know. Just hoping, as long as they don't put me on for Wednesday, that's really all I ask for. Don't put me on Wednesday and preferably not Sunday. So that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, that's that's what I'm looking for. But um I think whatever I see, I'm not gonna react like crazy to it. But I guess I'm getting a little off topic here. uh but I think part of the reason I had such kind of, I don't know what to call it. I think really the only thing I could say is like, kind of heavy reactions to those schedules is because I I felt like I had done such a good job, and that I would be rewarded for it. I mean, I guess maybe I was kind of rewarded for it because I didn't get my hours cut like as bad as other people, but it still was pretty bad. So that really just was like a, you know, that it was a big wake up call for me to see those hours getting cut when I felt like I didn't deserve it. But I've come around now and I've said, you know what, man? You know what? I don't care. And uh particularly I think that I've learned that loyalty is really something that does not matter in the fucking uh in the corporate world, at least in America. And this is something that my coworker was talking about one day. Uh, when talking about the hours and stuff, he mentioned that here they don't care about you at all. And this is something he learned because he was doing crazy jobs. He was, he's working for a pharmaceutical company. And he was with the company for like 25 years and they never thanked him. And he was doing like the job of 3 people. Like he was, I don't even remember exactly what he was doing, but he was like securing shipments, and he was finding suppliers and a lot of stuff. He was doing a shitload of work, and company didn't give a fuck about him, man. Company didn't give a shit. And it's kind of, it's sad that that's what's happening, because you should be rewarded for the work that you're doing. But I think that honestly, I kind of feel like that was really a good thing for him to say to me, because now I don't find myself as loyal as company. And I feel like part of the reason I was so loyal for a while was that it was like, oh man, they took a chance on me when I had nothing on my resume, which, to be honest, they kind of needed people. And I thought I was going in front end when I was in the interview. So, but I, um, I feel like I've learned now that I shouldn't be so loyal and be, pushing myself to a shitload of work just because I'm like, well, this company, took a chance on me, so I have to do everything in my power to be the fucking best guy ever. And ironically, it goes back to the start of what I was talking about, which is that I've been thinking, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to leave, but I'm thinking I might start looking at job listings just to see what's out there. Because maybe there's a job where I get paid a lot more and get to do something, that gives me more hours. Or maybe I'd be able to find a full-time job. And I'm not saying I would want to jump ship, because there's a lot of people I care about at the store. And I still do, at the end of the day, kind of enjoy the job. Not as much as I did, but I think just, being able to help people is a good thing, in my opinion. So that's kind of something that I think I want to continue doing, at least for a while. Because, like, even yesterday, for example, there's this one woman, and I know her, she comes around a decent amount, and she was there yesterday. So when I got there, my coworker was helping her, but, it was pretty much time for him to leave. So, he was helping her, and then she had another thing that she wanted. So, I helped her with that. She wanted, like, 2 packages of 3 really thick slices of roast beef. So, I was like, "Sure." And I did that, and I did it the way she wanted, and she was really happy with it. And, afterwards, she told me, and just so you know, I told your manager that you do an awesome job. And I was like "Thanks." And, dude, I've heard so many people that have said the exact same thing. There's one woman from bakery, she's like, I told the manager that you are, like, amazing." There's, bunch of customers that have just been like, "Yeah, he's great." And I even had when our assistant manager was there, uh, he came up to me one day during, like, the Christmas craziness, and he was like, "My mom my mom told me you did a good job." Apparently his mom came, apparently I did a great job. I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." So, I still like the job, but I feel like this, getting my hours cut and all that has really given me this wake up call of you, I'm not safe because if they if they if they had, some sort of reason that they didn't need me anymore, they'd probably just fucking cut me, bro. Like they're not just gonna spend money to keep me there when they don't need me. The only reason that the only reason that this is all happening now, and the only reason that this job has been happening is because they need people so fucking bad and they can't get anybody. So it works out. But it is what it is. But I said I had 2 things. The second thing goes back to that girl. And there's a comment that I got last night on that weekly update. Usually I don't get comments, and usually I don't really see them for a while, and then I don't really feel like replying when it's like been a couple days and it just kind of feels like eh. But I had like just uploaded a video, and I still had the channel dashboard open, so I went to look at it, and I saw that there was a comment on the weekly update, and you know the guy was talking about it, it sucks, but it was probably a good thing it happened because you know you get over it. And so I feel like it was a good thing with the work thing as well, I guess, in a sense, right? Because it kind of woke me up and made me realize like I should not be so loyal to the company. And in terms of talking about this girl, it's kind of the same thing because even when there were other girls that I was like, you know, not bad, maybe. The thing I would always think about, right, is yeah, but what about the other girl? And to be honest, I think also something that has kind of helped me maybe get over this to a degree is I can't remember if I actually uploaded any of the videos where I mentioned it, but I read this book called How to Not Die Alone, which is so like, part of the reason it really stood out to me is, number one, I was able to borrow it from the library digitally. So, hey, free book. But two, uh, I just thought the title was very, like, I like titles like that, where it's, like, very, like, to the point. Because, like, you could have, like, made a book like How to Find Your Perfect Match or something. But I just think, like, How to Not Die Alone, that is, like, such a good title, man. That is such a good title. And I read that book. One of the things it talked about kind of towards the end, there's literally a chapter called Fuck the Spark, which is kind of this breaking uh this kind of myth that when two people meet, and they're supposed to be like the perfect match or whatever, they have to have this spark immediately. I kind of had that with that girl, kind of. I mean, like, it never progressed to, that point, but it was like from the moment that I met her, there was kind of that spark. We had, like, a pretty common connection. I felt like those days that we talked, it was like I felt like we were both kind of having a good time, and, like, we're two not very social people that are talking a lot. But uh the thing I learned from that book is that usually the spark is kind of not a thing. Which, I mean, I guess it applies really more to, like, dating necessarily, like, because the book talked about, like, people going on first dates and then, like, not really, like, getting into it that much, not really feeling it that much because, there's no spark or whatever, but then still, like, choosing to go on future dates and then realizing, you know what, this person is pretty good. It's just, sometimes the spark just doesn't happen immediately, So I feel like hearing that made me think, you know, uh, I kind of I kind of feel like maybe I valued that a little too much because I'd never valued or I'd never felt that before. And now I'm kind of like, maybe it's fine. Maybe I'll find maybe I'll find somebody else. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Surely surely this is just kind of, the stepping stone, I guess. But that whole experience also taught me that loyalty is not the best thing in that instance, especially because I had thought, like, you know, kind of seems like maybe she, could feel the same way, but, like, I'm not trying to push it. So it's like I never really found out. And now I found out it's like, I mean, not, I mean, maybe it still could be. I'm not sure, but I know definitely not entirely the same way because, you know, she doesn't want me to message her anymore. So, which I understand, but I mean, it's definitely not what I thought I was feeling. I don't know. Oh fuck! I forgot that one alarm is gonna go off. I have to go get the other phone to turn it off. But yeah, I think that maybe being that loyal was a little foolish because I had no idea what was gonna happen in terms of that. And every time, not necessarily like I had an opportunity, but I had, um, every time I had this thought of, like, this girl could be potentially, someone I'm interested in or something like that. But then I would think, well, what about her though? And now I look back at that and just think it was dumb to be that loyal kind of. I I feel like from now on it's not like, I'm gonna go fucking cheating on girls or some shit. But I am going to not focus on that so much. So I think I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. See how things go in the future. But I've found that being like if you are gonna be loyal, it has to be for the right reasons. And like I think an example of loyalty that kind of worked out, or well, not kind of worked out, but I would say I have my reasons for being loyal is my coworker that I work with most nights because we know each other pretty well, and I I have been pretty much loyal to him. I'm always trying to do as much work as I can so he doesn't have to do as much work. And uh I think that has really worked out well. But because we have built up a lot of trust between each other and we're always working well as a team, and I've given him rides to the bus. He's bought me like, some Arizona teas here and there. And like he's bought me some drinks, he's bought me like some chocolates and stuff sometimes. He buys me a bunch of stuff. And so there's been kind of a reason for that loyalty to exist. It's not just kind of blind loyalty of like, well, this company took a chance on me, or oh, maybe this girl likes me back, I don't know. And so now kind of I'm kind of like in some ways maybe loyalty is good, but I think there's a difference between loyalty that is earned and loyalty that you just kind of built up in your head without a real kind of reason that it should be earned. Because it just doesn't make sense to have blind loyalty, I think, is what I've really learned. And I mean, it feels good to kind of be like loyal to something, but it has to be built. It can't just kind of exist and have it be meaningful, because then it's very easy for your loyalty to just be taken advantage of or fucking destroyed. So I think that's kind of where I'm gonna end this, I think. Because I have to get ready for work soon. So that's gonna be something. But at least I'm up earlier and I don't feel as tired. So that's good. I I really feel kind of, I don't know. I've felt kind of passionate about this since like last week, or not last week, but like earlier this week, thinking about loyalty and just like, yeah, kind of ties back to both of the big things that have been happening in my life the past week or so. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be a better week because I'm gonna prioritize my sleep more, and I've been uploading more, and I don't think I'm gonna have 2 bombs dropped on my life in the span of, like, 2 days, so that's good. Well, I mean, with the war in Iran, who knows, man? Who knows? There might be some actual fucking bombs coming, who knows? I don't know. It's, it's crazy, man. Alright, well, anyways, yeah, it's a little longer than I was anticipating. I was gonna stop at probably, like, 20 minutes, and I just kept going, so, uh, yeah, I guess that's it.